Let's get in Praveen Kutty, Managing Director and CEO at DCB Bank. Apologies, Praveen, for mispronouncing your surname, but welcome to NDTV Profit. My first question coming to you is, we've seen a sequential improvement that's come in terms of net interest margins, and you have indicated that NIMS has turned a corner, barring further rate cuts from here on. What is the outlook looking like from here on when it comes to the quarter-wise guidance for net interest margins and the anticipated decline in the cost of funds?
Good morning, and thank you for having me here. What we're seeing is that there has been a 100 basis point repo rate cut, and we have seen our yield drop. But what is heartening is that the drop in yield is more than adequately compensated by the reduction in cost of deposit. So what is happening is you've seen the impact of 2.5 months of cost of deposit reduction. Most of our book is term deposit. About 76% of our book is term deposit. So, and these are duration of about 15 months. So there is we're reasonably confident that our renewal ratios will continue to hold. And just by holding renewal ratios, you would see a further drop in cost of deposit. Whereas the yield impact is mostly taken care of in Q2. So that's the reason why I believe that Q1 is where the NIM was at the nadir, a 3 basis points increase in Q2, and probably we'll see NIM expansion happening not only in the coming quarter, but perhaps all the way through to the next 3-4 quarters.
Praveen, hi, good morning. Alex here. What percentage of the book right now is gold loans, and what is the expectation and the thesis there? With gold having performed the way that it has, is there a little bit of caution that you are employing right now, considering that the LTVs could change very dramatically if prices were to come down?
Right. So gold is an important facet in our asset schemes. Roughly about 3,000 crores on a 60,000 crore book. So about 5% organic gold loan is what the bank has currently. We have been conservative in our LTVs even before the gold loan, the gold prices kind of tended south. So largely our base is very well, is far less than 75% of the LTV. As a bank, we have not given an enhancement on the gold loan based on the increase in the gold value. So the loan given at the time of sanction largely remained where it is. So yes, we are looking at it very closely, but I don't see that doesn't keep us awake in the night.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. What is going to drive the growth of the book if you're talking about loan growth? Because that is something that a lot of... I'm going to wait till you get your... can you hear me, Mr. Kutty? Yes. Okay. So
yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, so let me ask you this. What is going to drive the growth in the book and advances? Because a lot of your peers have been witnessing a little bit of anemic growth in credit. And I'm just wondering what you've penciled in for the rest of this financial year. Where do you see the book ending?
I would tend to think that we'll see about 18 to 20% growth in the asset book, mainly coming in from our traditional segments of loan against property, against home loans. We have a robust SME book. So these are the areas. Our agri book is strong. Tractors, KCC. These are the areas where we will see future growth coming in from.
Mr. Kutty, but you're talking about the SME book as well. That's the way, that's the portion which did see pressure this time around. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was negative slightly. Mortgage growth, 13% year on year, lower than the overall growth of 19% as well. So what is going to be the strategy to revive both these segments, and what are the growth targets for the second half for these two segments?
So what we've done so far is that we have had a reorientation of the way we do business. You would see that in multiple areas, and don't look at it from a quarter to quarter perspective. look at it from the last 6 quarters perspective, we have done a tight rein on our cost to income ratio and cost to average assets both. One of the parameters in that has been that our DSA sourcing cost has dramatically come down. So what you're seeing is a reorientation of the way we source business. We are not leaving too much on the table. We're building a direct channel. A proportion of direct sourcing to the total is increasing considerably. And making the change took some time. So we were willing to give up some volume to get the culture going within the bank. And right now I'm confident that our direct sourcing is picking up significantly. Cost of deposit, you've seen a reduction happening, and you'll probably continue to see that happening as well. Our productivity level has increased significantly. We have reduced our workforce by 9% and increased our deposits and loans by 19%. So the last 18 months has been one of ensuring discipline, control, creating a culture of reducing wastage. So that's what really happened in the last 18 odd months, and I'm sure this will continue in the future also. So the mortgages that we'd be originating in the future would have a much higher component of direct sourcing.
Okay. So
now we can see that increasingly happening both in volume sense as well as in the sourcing sense also.
Got it. So to add to that, the other aspect I want to talk to you about is the asset quality and the slippages. Around 3.1% is where it is right now. What will get you to bring the overall slippage ratio down to the targeted 2.5%, particularly in the unsecured, LAP, SME and co-lending gold segments, because that's where the pressure is?
Sorry, are you asking the GNPA numbers or the NIM numbers? Sorry, can you repeat that?
In terms of the asset quality slippages also, the slippage ratio is 3.1%, right? The overall slippage ratio, the target is 2.5%. So what will get you down to that 2.5%?
Right. Okay, so here is the issue we have is that our credit costs are very reasonable. Okay, it tends towards, it'll be in the low 40s or maybe in the high 30s. Our model seems to suggest a 45 bips mark, but I've given guidance that for the whole year we would be somewhere near the 40 to 45 basis points as such. What you're seeing on the slippage essentially is that you're getting a lot of customers who are not familiar with the discipline of monthly repayment. These are mostly customers who've been paying a high rate of interest and taking bullet loans where the payment happens at the end of the year and then there's a rollover which happens. But in our scheme of things, these are customers, just like any other retail customer, have to pay their monthly dues as per the demand. That is something which is a discipline problem. People are not really used to that. It takes time to get used to it. So I see slippages less as a credit cost problem, but more as an OPEX problem. So because it certainly involves going back to the customer and getting them onto the track, getting the payment in. So it's more of an OPEX problem. And let's leave gold loan aside for a minute. If you were to look at our NPA recoveries, the quantum of upgrade is very huge. For 100 rupees of slippage which happens, 81 rupees is a recovery, which basically means that we are a bit lax in terms of allowing the NPA to happen in the first place, but then the bank shows incredible resilience, even the customer shows incredible resilience in paying not one, but more than 3 EMIs back into the bank and becoming an upgraded customer. So I think there's a bit more discipline that we have to build into that. We have the technologies. We are building the gold sheets and the reward system to ensure that the early slippages on non-gold is brought down significantly. On the gold loan piece, a lot of education, videos, to make the people understand the discipline of payment in time is being done. And I'm hopeful that this will help us in reducing our slippages from 3.1 to 2.5%. But having said that, the bottom line is about the credit cost. And in a long term, if you were to look at it over the last 6-7 quarters, we've been hovering around the 40 bips mark on the credit cost. And that we're comfortable with that.
Got it. Absolute pleasure having you, Praveen. Thanks so much for taking the time, and look forward to the next chat.